What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about shadow characters and how the shadow whale teams are not necessarily the best option for your campaign and challenge needs, and maybe not even your arena. Look, I did a shadow whale team. I regret it. I've hit this crazy bottleneck. I'm stuck, and now I'm going backwards to work on the team that I think is best, that I did use in the beta, that I had a lot more success with, that I pushed further with while spending no money. And I can't do anything because I've hit these bottlenecks that have blowing my mind. It's crazy. Anyway, we're going to talk about that. We're going to show the 3 different orc teams in arena footage here, but we're going to talk about them in the grander scheme of things. I hope you enjoy the video, and let me know how you guys are feeling in the comment section below, as always. All right, here we are, and let's not waste any time. Let's get right into the footage. So we're going to tackle a Mordor team with my standard arena team, and this is actually going to be a 1,000 punch down. Not many people have invested in the Mordor team because it is quite a heavy investment. So the punch down does add some credence to this team. Now, there's some interesting things Mordor does, but there's such a late game team and a whaley team if you really want to get them quickly. And they are very, very weak. And just quickly, Skaggrat, if an ally is below 10% life, he'll sacrifice them on his special. His special is kind of like Eowyn's, where it gives offense up to the entire team. So I wouldn't want to do that ability if I was in the middle of a campaign and somebody was going to die, but I do want the offense up, but now I can't 3-star anymore. It's very, very counterintuitive. But the real problem with the Mordor team that I see it, and we are missing one Mordor character here, we're missing the attacker. They're super squishy. Look, that guy's dead, okay? And that was Eowyn. Look, we're taking half their life in one hit. They just can't take a hit whatsoever. And that's the biggest problem with the Mordor team. They fall to pieces quick. I don't think they would hold up at all in campaigns, at all. My team is a tanky team for Shadow. I don't think it's the best team, and they're still getting one shot on campaign nodes. So as far as campaign and challenges go, I think the Mordor team would get absolutely destroyed. I can maybe see a world where the Mordor team is good in arena on offense, but the problem there is that the AI is smart, and the AI likes to dogpile on one character. So if it takes out your engineer real quick, or it takes out your Skaggrat, or even just drops one of them to below 10% life, and Skaggrat is going to kill his own ally and turn it really into a 4v5 before they take a turn. I don't know. I really, really, really dislike the Mordor team. I hope there's a way to revitalize that. I'm sure because it's in the infancy of the game, we could see some reworks. But the Misty Mountain team, this is the Bolg, Tordok, Gruhu the Brute, and Nuraz, the other troll handler. This is like the main team people wailed out on for the shadow section, myself included. Now, this is tough because they're very tanky, which is good, until they're not. And that happens super fast in the campaign. So in arena, they do kind of take a hit well, but they don't do AoE damage there either. So it takes them a long time to actually kill people. And the second the AI deviates from one kill target, which is rare, but if it does happen, it's an auto lose. And Tordok, he's just the worst. He is just the worst character, and it's him and Bolg on that offer, and it sucks. And Nuraz sucks. Okay, Nuraz, we can talk about him too as far as campaigns go. Nuraz is a liability to your campaigns because he is so squishy, and the second you start pushing into chapter 4 on the shadow campaign, you will find yourself getting one shot with Nuraz even when he has defense up. And then you can't 3-star a node, and then you can't farm the node, and then you're having to do it manually, and even sometimes you'll lose that because Nuraz won't live long enough to summon his little troll guy, well, his big troll guy, and it's just an absolute mess. I went super hard on the Misty Mountain team on live. I didn't do that in the beta, and I'm kind of happy I didn't in the beta because I'll have some interesting information to share with you when we look at the next footage. But this team just struggles so much in the campaign. You'll see they're doing okay in the arena. They're awful in challenges as well, especially because they're missing a big part of their kit. Gruhu the Brute, the guy over there, he's a big part of their kit, giving them offense up and putting expose out there. In arena, it doesn't matter, because if I see Gruhu the Brute, I know I can throw Eowyn, and the second Gruhu the Brute throws his defense down, my Eowyn can cleanse it, unless Eowyn gets hard targeted, which happens, but is rare enough. You see I'm getting through this team, and this was the only punch across footage we're going to see, actually. So yeah, you can't use Gruhu the Brute when you're trying to do like the Orc challenge. And so the Misty Mountain team just falls to pieces in that Orc challenge. And also we have Halbrad here, so a little jab at Halbrad too. I'm not too impressed with him. But yeah, so the Misty Mountain team, I'm not feeling it. I went super hard on them, and I don't like it. Now we're going to do a 900 punch down into the Isengard team. Now, not a full Isengard team, just the 3-piece that you get for free. Yes, you get this team for free right away as soon as you start doing your Shadow campaign. And then they're early farmed characters. Okay, we're going to talk about all that in a second. But why I really like this team is because of how well they do in the campaigns and in the challenges. And it all stems from Ugluk's leader ability, where anytime an Isengard Orc or Isengard ally puts a Bane out, it's going to heal for a certain percentage of Ugluk's life. It's not a high percentage, but every single turn, the Isengard Orcs are putting out a Bane. I don't think Ugluk's basic does. I don't think Mahur's special does. Everything that Dunhar does, that's the healer you see right there, everything he does, it puts out a Bane, which activates the Ugluk leader ability, which increases the healing, and then they have this single target damage. But this is where we got to talk about just the shortcoming of the Shadow teams in general, and that is how heavily they rely on single target damage on their team. They don't have characters like Eothane or like Strider that are doing these massive AoE attacks, putting counters up, and then everyone's kind of dogpiling on one character. The Shadow teams really lack that, and they lack it the most in the Bolg team. Like, the Bolg has great single target damage at Misty Mountain team. They do good there. But as soon as it's in a sustained fight, if it's a wave on a node with three waves in it, and the final wave is like a Rivendell team, good luck. Because you will have burned out all of your abilities, or you're going to be going into that wave with no life. It's absolutely crazy. One thing I want to mention, this kind of looks in this arena fight like I am doing just as poorly here as I did with the other teams. This is a punch down compared to the Misty Mountain team. Take that into account. But also look at my Ironhide. They focused my Ironhide. They focused my tankiest character. The single target assist damage that the Isengard team does, I think rivals, if not is better than the Misty Mountain team. Because Tordok sucks. And Mahur, when he's built up, he can do some pretty good damage. But yeah, I really think the smart team for Shadow, because you need to lean into some Orcs for challenges, is definitely going to be the Isengard 3-piece that you get off the bat. And then there's some other characters that I think come along the way just by default, some great strong characters. We'll talk about that in a second here. I got a little infographic pulled up. But just let me know what you think about this arena footage that we just showed. Did any team stand out more to you than the others? The Mordor team actually does have some AoE on the Engineer, but he's so squishy and they're not very quick and there's not a taunt there. So I just don't like the Mordor team at all. But anyway, this is the 5-piece that I think people should start with for Shadow. Now we do have a weird ugly duck over there in the right corner, but we'll get to that. So Ugluk, number 1 most important character for your Shadow. You get him. He's the first character you just get. Well, not the first character. You get some light characters. He's the first Shadow character you get. And then he's farmable on guild node 1-1. Any character that's farmable in the guild node is actually really easy to build up star-wise. But again, always remember, resources are so scarce in this game. Don't bring characters past the 3 stars. It seems like the jumps to go to 4 stars and 5 stars and 6 stars is about 4%. It's not worth the gold because it's such a crunch. But another thing Ugluk does, he's got a strong single target damage. He gets assists with Mahur as well, which is great. He's got a turn 1 blind that has a 4-turn cooldown, so he seems to be using it 3 times on campaign nodes and twice in the arena. Very, very impactful. You can make sure you get a blind on someone who's about to do a big AoE attack. And his leader ability spams heals. So Bolg's leader ability will give you advantage. And that's great. And I have not seen it matter whatsoever, okay? But Ugluk's leader ability, I've seen do 100 heals here, 100 heals there. Every time an Isengard Orc puts a Bane out, and all of a sudden, I can't kill them. That team that you saw me beat when I was fighting at even power, I was having a really hard time killing them because of the defense up that they were getting, the random taunts that were happening, and they're just the spam little baby heals. It was so annoying. All right, let's talk about Mahur. Mahur is farmed on light, hard campaign chapter 1-2. Such a mouthful. I'm not going to say the word hard anymore. It's light 1-2 where you can farm characters, which is the hard part of that. Okay, it's very convoluted for no reason. You also get him for free. He's got strong single target damage, and he has very good synergized attacks with Ugluk. He calls Ugluk in for an assist. He helps Ugluk do some damage. So the bigger you have that 2-piece, the more likely you are to just wipe a character off the node on their first turns. Now, what I don't like about Mahur is how he acts on defense. So he has his special that gives haste, it gives deadly, and it gives regens, but it doesn't do an attack. I think that's a wasted ability. It's garbage. He's an attack character. He shouldn't have a ability that buffs himself. There should be a supporting character that does that for him. If you waste your ability there, you might find yourself now turned into a 4v5 in your anti-favor, not in your favor is how I should have pronounced that or said that. Oh my god, English is too tough for me right now. Anyways, that's Mahur in a nutshell. Strong single target damage and good synergy with Ugluk. He's also going to get some Banes out there to help with the Ugluk leader ability. All right, Ironhide. Ironhide is farmed on Guild 1-7, so you do have to pick who you're going to farm your stars for first. Definitely do Ironhide, okay? Ironhide is the heart and soul of any Shadow team. His AoE damage is incredible. Both of his abilities do AoE damage, and when he's stuck using his pig sticker for his basic, it absolutely skewers people, especially if he drops below certain health points. A very, very cool thing about Ironhide is that he is a 4-star unlock. Man, that sucks, I gotta farm 180 shards, but wait! You get to summon him for free. So as soon as you get that 180 shards, you now have a 4-star Ironhide that you didn't have to put any gold out there for. You just get him for free at 4 stars once you farm the shards up. I love that. And he's super tanky. Like, the reason that Isengard footage looks so easy is because they focused my Ironhide and he absolutely just tanked their abilities. Then we got Dunhar, the healer of the team. The healer of the team. Kind of funny way. We'll talk about why. He's farmed on Shadow 1-1, so again, a very, very easy farm. He puts out Banes on every single attack, which is going to activate the Ugluk leader ability. He also, I think, does Heal Block and Bleed, which is going to feed into a different Isengard character. We'll talk about here in a minute. And he's got a little heal in his own right. A nice little, it's a strong single target heal when you have him built up. And on turn, he gives defense up to the lowest health ally. That's the thing I love about this Isengard team. You seem to get them low, but they're way tankier than Mordor, so they don't really die. And then all of a sudden, they're just getting these heals here and there. Heals here and there. Defense up here. All of a sudden, Ugluk is taunting. And you can never get through it in a timely manner, and all of a sudden, your characters are dead. And this works even better in the campaign. Since they're always doing this healing, they seem to enter the later waves with full life, which is not something the Misty Mountain orcs do at all. Especially if you're using Bulg's leader ability. And then we have, I'm going to kill this name. I kill all the names, who cares? Wubbite. So he is a Harridan tank. He's like a necessary evil because there's not many other good characters to build up. He's a tank, so he's usable in the challenges. He's Shadow, and he's easily farmed in the guild store. You're either going to farm him or you're going to farm the Ranger. I think this is an easy decision, especially because our good friend Tana has a data mine out. Suggesting that the Witch King is going to be the first legendary and Harridan is going to be the tag to unlock it. But he's got some good things too. Now, I found this guy basically in the later campaign nodes where it stuck him with me. And his turn 1 AoE ability that does good damage also puts out slow. The reason I like this is because the Shadow teams are much slower, in my opinion, than the light teams are. So because he can put slow, I can kind of save that ability until we're on wave 2 or wave 3 or whatever wave is the biggest that I think my Shadow team will struggle with the most, whether it be on campaign or in challenges. And then if I could put slow on that team, all of a sudden I'm getting to do a lot more work on the enemy before they really catch steam. Especially because you can line it up so your Wubbite's speed bar is about to cap as you enter into a new wave. And then you're putting slow on them when their speed bar is at 0. Love that. Love that. So that would be my 5 suggested Shadow characters for new players and for everybody right now. I am already shifting my focus and I am building up my Isengard orcs because I had them on beta. I missed them already. I think they're a far superior team and I cannot progress my Shadow campaign anymore. My Shadow characters are at the same level as my light characters, and I'm about a full chapter behind in the campaigns and a full tier behind on the challenges because the Misty Mountain team can't hang. It's a really sad state. And I mean, I have like level 4 abilities on Bulg. Tordok stands there, gets himself killed. It's just completely useless. But let's talk about some honorable mentions, okay? Bolg. Let's just talking shit about him. He's a Misty Mountain Orc. He's a leader. You would not use his leader ability. If you were to buy that offer, you would just use Bolg. You would bench Tordok, and you would put Bolg in the place of Wubbite up there. He still will do very strong single target damage, and that's about it. But very strong single target damage, and he can take a hit. He'll get a lot of healing from the Ugluk leader ability. So I don't hate that. I also think if I was going to farm, because both of those characters, let me find what store they're in. I believe they're in the challenge store. Yeah, they're in the challenge store. Bolg and Halbarad are in there. Now, if I had to pick which one of those I was going to farm, it would definitely be Bolg. He's just more impactful in nuking an enemy character and turning a 5v5 into a 4v5 very quickly. The next, the Isengard, he was called like the Warbringer or something like that in the beta. I never got to play with him, but his damage is crazy and he has good synergy with Dunhar. So Dunhar can put bleeds out, and then the Warbringer comes in and does 40% extra damage and just clobbers people. We got him in one campaign node, and it was the most fun I had. He has this big mace. He's like, oh, boom. It just huge damage. He's also putting out Banes out there to activate your Ugluk's passive or leader ability. And just really good damage. So I definitely like him. The problem is he's the last farmable character. So on Shadow Chapter 5 of the hard campaign, 5-9. So there's a reason he's up there. He is that good. He hits that hard. He probably hits harder than Bulk. We're going to find out. I can't wait to get him unlocked. Then we have the he was called the Isengard Sergeant in the beta. So the Warbringer's name, is Azhak. Azhak. That's interesting. Let me find the captain here. Oh, that's right. He was called the captain. He's a support character. Now, people are really hating on this guy, and I don't understand why. He seems like he has the good kind of synergy you would want with this team. He's not going to be the damage dealer. He's not going to be the tank. His name is Morza. Morza. So he's getting a lot of hate, but he does exactly what Dunhar does. He feeds into that Ugluk leader ability and gets you healing out the wazoo. So his basic is giving weak-minded for 2 turns. Weak-minded is a nonsense Bane, but it will get you healing. His special is it's going to dispel 2 boons from the target enemy and inflict disrupted. That's another way to activate the Ugluk healing. And he's going to call an Isengard ally to assist, and 75% chance to grant that ally 1 stack of defense up. So this is when the ability is leveled up. So I'm sure some things are dropped off along the way. But again, that's kind of reminiscent of the Eowyn special, and you know I love Eowyn. So calling an Isengard ally to assist, that means it's not a wasted ability. You've now cleansed boons, you've given disrupt, and you're getting damage out there. Okay, that's big. And potentially giving a stack of defense up. So I love that. And then his ultimate, dispel 1 boon from all enemies. So again, he's clearing buffs from the enemy team and inflicting expose for 2 turns on 1 enemy, on the target enemy. 1 expose for 2 turns doesn't seem impactful. It is activating the Ugluk leader ability. So again, everything that Morza does is getting you heals. And 2 turns of expose for this team is actually very important because this team is heavy single target damage. Even the Warbringer, that guy in the middle with the face paint, he is single target damage. So if you have 1 expose on 1 character, you can nuke that character with your abilities. And again, once you turn a match from a 5v5 into a 4v5, you are sitting pretty. And I believe this is a turn 1 ability. It's also going to grant haste for 1 turn to all squad members. This is a turn-based game. Speed is everything. If you can get this haste and you can lap your enemies, or it switches the way the turns work. So instead of them getting their second turns before you get your second turns, and again, you start picking people off before they get their second turn, absolutely game changing. He is not a bad character by any stretch of the imagination. It boggles my mind. So if I could unlock the Isengard captain, that Morza, he's the honorable mention on the right, I would also use him to replace Wubbite. All of these characters would replace Wubbite. I would keep my 3 Isengard piece, and I would definitely keep Ironhide. That's so much damage. All right, I kind of got rambly there, but I'm very passionate about this Shadow team because I made a huge mistake. My Misty Mountain team is all level 43 right now, and they're trash. And I'm stuck on the Shadow campaign. And other people that built Isengard are not, okay? And so don't make this mistake I made because it takes forever to catch up. And we're going to have to make kind of a salty video and hope to get some of the attention from the devs because the bottlenecks are so crazy that once you build up characters in the level 40s or even the level 30s, you've tanked all the resources you got from getting account levels and from doing the quests, and you're ducked, okay? You're absolutely ducked. It's gonna take you forever to get enough gold to put the Isengard abilities on, to put their gear on, to give them the levels. You're gonna run out of freaking experience. You will not be able to do anything in this game once you hit level 44 if you haven't been laser focused on teams. I think that's a problem. That's a bigger problem. But I hope that in this video, I might have helped some people avoid investing in, let's say, some subpar shadow teams. Not just shadows, but also orc teams for the challenges. Let me know what you're feeling in the comment sections below. Let me know if I'm a dummy and you love Misty Mountain or you love Mordor. I love the idea of those teams, but in practice, I haven't seen it work. Anyway, let me know in the comment section below. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.